Let's get right into it. Number 15. The Pain-Laugh Reflex. You bang your leg on that old coffee table again, yeah. The exact spot that's been out to get you since forever. Feels almost alive, right? But instead of yelling, you burst into laughter, like some wild cartoon dude who tripped for no reason. Nice job, your brain just turned agony into a joke. When you think you're some hidden bad guy in a backstory, here's the real deal. Your nerves are sorting out feelings fast. Hurt sends waves of tension through you, so your mind, yes, that overly theatrical part of you, panics trying to handle the rush. What's its go-to move when things get wild? A laugh. Not because it's funny, but like whistling while walking past a graveyard at night. Your brain pumps out endorphins to ease the hurt. Yet oddly, they spark a strange laugh that makes people go, "You all right?" You just shrug, saying, "Not sure. Maybe I'm collapsing." Yet somehow it's funny. People feel pressure to fit in. Yet deep down they're struggling. Still, laughter kicks in loud, sudden, pushes through pain like it means nothing. The mind plays tricks, pretending everything's okay, even when muscles scream from some hidden wound. This act fools others, or at least buys time. Laughing when hurt feels like a broken helpline, weird, messy, yet oddly meant to comfort. Number 14. The Oops That Hurt Giggle Loop. Picture this, you tread on something sharp. Not one of those smooth toy blocks. Nah, think bare metal electrical plug, like the ultimate foot trap at home. You stiffen up, feel your spirit bail out, yet somehow end up chuckling. What gives? Your mind's got a habit of flipping pain into goofy moments. When life hurts, stress builds up, kinda like bubbles trapped inside a shaken drink. That ache tightens the lid. But laughing, it lets those jitters slip out before they blow. Without it, all that pent-up energy might burst through something dumb, like yelling or kicking a wall. Your mind just needs an exit ramp. When pain strikes hard, your mind's prone to go haywire. That's why you chuckle if someone trips, particularly in an exaggerated way. Sure, you feel for them, yet laughter sparks anyway, since brains kinda love physical comedy deep down. This chuckle pattern pops up during crises too. Take firefighters, medics, or hospital staff. Their odd, grim jokes don't mean they're heartless. It's how their mind copes with endless pressure. Humor here doesn't dismiss suffering. Instead, it reshapes agony into endurance. If pain's like the cosmos chucking a brick at your head, laughter's your mind dodging it, shouting, "Missed me!" Number 13. The Broken Humor Filter. You know that instant when you stumble out of nowhere, just plain gravity, and before touching floor you're already chuckling? Right? 'Cause your mind's comedy radar is about as strong as soggy napkin. Your brain digs routines, things it can count on, nice and steady. Yet the instant something odd pops up, say your ankle buckling like cheap furniture, it trips into mental scramble mode. Now, messiness? That sneaks and laughs without trying. Laughter often kicks in when stuff happens that just doesn't fit, like tripping on a floor you've walked across 100 times. That shock messes with your brain's rhythm, leaving humor instead of sense. Ouch moments hit hard, even if they're small. Imagine this. You own gadgets that respond to your eyes, yet somehow lose balance because of a wet spot near the sink. Luckily, this silliness brings on giggles. Here's the sillier side though. As your frontal brain scrambles to figure out why you're flat on the floor, your fear center yells, "Red alert!" Meanwhile, your lower brain says, "Fast, cover it with chuckles." That's how laughter turns into instinctive cover-up noise. A fake calm signal while panic flares underneath. It's not like pain makes you laugh. It's just when things get this dumb, your mind won't stop reacting. Your sense of humor isn't messed up, it just never got set up right from the start. Number 12. Slapstick Survival Mode. Picture this, you're stepping onto a slick patch. No theatrics, no banana peel nonsense. Just that split-second wobble when your brain blanks out. One leg shoots forward. Your arms go wild like windmills at a roadside sale, totally on their own. You steady yourself quick, but still blurt out some odd noise, half laugh, half yelp. That's what it feels like when clumsy reflexes kick in. Your brain freaks out over dangers, It's like that anxious coworker who won't stop warning you about every tiny risk. When something small goes wrong, say stumbling on your shoelace, it panics at first. Fear kicks in because the mind assumes trouble. Yet a second later, it checks around and goes, "Wait, this isn't life or death. You're just awkward right now." It shifts focus, swapping fear for humor by riding that extra energy. This is how feelings get reused. Your body doesn't like tossing anything out. So when panic isn't needed, it flips into silliness. When you trip around others, chuckling shows you're okay. It's like telling folks, "Nah, no injury here, just clumsy." This trick tries to protect your pride, yet somehow ends up bruising it worse than your skin. Here's the weird part. Laughing when things go sideways might actually steady you. It eases stress, relaxes tight muscles, yet pulls you back from full freak-out mode. In short, your system tosses you a tiny joke to keep you from crashing hard. So, goofy near-miss reactions? That's your mind trying to make light of a close call. Like saying, "Hey, watch this dummy. He's okay." Number 11. Pain makes everything absurd. A weird, sort of funny kicks in right when you mess up in the silliest manner. Slip and let your phone smack your nose mid-bed? That's hilarious. Chomp your own tongue biting into a marshmallow? Can't stop giggling. Smash your arm against furniture that hasn't shifted an inch? Burst out laughing. Here's why: your mind's scrambling to make sense of things, yet truth can be plain dumb. Pain turns normal stuff into weird chaos. Your mind counts on things acting a certain way, like chairs sitting put, meals staying harmless, or gravity doing its job. Yet when one tiny thing breaks that flow, your thoughts short-circuit like old electronics sparking in the rain. That jolt? It's confusion hitting hard. The gap between expectation and reality snapping into view. Your emotions react using their fastest trick: laughter. Here's the thing. Humor often pops up where there's discomfort, more than folks realize. These two use similar brain pathways tied to shock, closeness between people, or managing feelings. When life suddenly swerves sideways, your mind must choose: freak out or laugh it off. A little ache pushes it toward laughing, since freaking out burns serious fuel and turns you into a wild-eyed trash panda. So you chuckle even if you're irritated. It's not the hurt that gets you, it's how things turned out. A ridiculous twist, like life tripping you for no reason, just messing around nonstop. The silliness hits like a joke, yet hurt shows up out of nowhere doing stand-up. Number 10. The social pain mask. One sec you're whacking your palm on a table, next you're cracking up like it's some comedy show. But honestly, that hand hurts way more than it should. It's like your brain panics and forces giggles instead of crying out. All just 'cause you don't want to look weak in front of others. The pain hits hard, your body tries to play it cool anyway. People don't like seeming weak, particularly near those they don't know. Back then, looking hurt could get you noticed by predators, so we learned to mask it. Rather than cry out, you might burst into laughter, sharp, exaggerated, even wild, to pretend the ache's no big deal. Here's the weird bit: you don't really decide to laugh. It just happens, built right into how your brain handles social moments. A chuckle tells others, "Hey, I'm okay. Nothing's wrong." Not about to burst into tears. It eases tension, calms the crew around you, or keeps folks from gawking like you're a clumsy bird sliding headfirst off ice. Yet inside, everything's a mess. The brain part handling pride fights to stay calm. Meanwhile, the emotional side screams about your mistake. Your pain sensors start acting up. So the laughter turns into a messy mix: part awkwardness, part letting go, yet somehow protective. It's less about jokes, more like stopping the fallout. In brief, the social pain cover lets you act like all's good when it clearly isn't. A way to get through the day, yet a dramatic show-off move for those around. Number 9. When pain hijacks your breath. You ever have one of those dumb little pains that hits totally out of nowhere? Not bad enough to cry, not sharp enough to shout. Just this quiet gasp, like a tire slowly leaking air. A second passes. Then boom, laughter explodes up from somewhere deep, like your body forgot how to feel. Turns out hurt doesn't only shake up your mood. It grabs hold of your breath and won't let go. When pain strikes, your nerves slam on the stop button without warning. The moment it happens, your diaphragm locks up tight. Breathing stops like your lungs are saving every last breath for doomsday. Everything tenses at once, stiff as concrete. This reaction, built into us by evolution, staying still used to dodge real threats in the wild. Now though, most dangers aren't beasts. They're kitchen edges or jutting drawer pulls. Here's the strange part. The moment your mind sees there's no real threat, your breath kicks in again, so fast it forces a loud, unplanned burst of laughter. It's almost as if your chest shouts, "Phew, safe," while your voice follows without thinking. This is exactly why the laughter seems absurd. Not because it's what you'd usually hear. More like something built by a machine, designed by folks who've never watched people react. Gasp-filled, jagged close to anxiety. Relief hiding behind jokes. Here's that burst of air, gives your mind a tiny boost, sparking a flash of feel-good juice. This chemical shift slightly dulls the ache, turning giggles into natural relief. A quirky body hack that oddly does the trick. Your body slams on the brakes of pain. Suddenly, your breathing takes center stage in a wild, unexpected show. Number 8. Nervous system misdirection. Picture grabbing something way hotter than you thought, like a frying pan grip, a coffee cup straight from the microwave, yet maybe that scorching seat clip in a hot car. You flinch instantly, your eyes widen, then you chuckle, not 'cause it's amusing, instead 'cause your nerves played the dumbest prank possible. Pain zips along a quick, harsh nerve route, yet feelings lag just behind. That split-second gap, your gut reacts with an ancient move, distraction. Chuckling pops up like a fake target. A mental flare tossed sideways. Think of it as your mind yelling, "Check this out," instead. The rest is fine. This strange mix pops up since pain and jokes tap into similar brain zones, the front part of the cingulate, the amygdala, plus the area right behind your forehead. Think of it as loading two heavy programs on a super old computer. One messes with the other, so everything stutters. Usually that hiccup turns into squeaky laughter. Your body's actually working hard to pull your focus off that sudden wave of panic. Yet right then, laughing kicks in and briefly silences pain by turning on feel-good zones along with systems that calm stress. Suddenly, your mind can't tell whether something scary's happening, or if someone just cracked a killer joke. So it throws up this weird fog of emotion, almost like wild giggles, even as you're standing there rinsing your hand under chilly tap water. In short, your nervous system deals with crises like toddlers tackle chores. Badly, noisily, yet somehow still laughing at weird moments. Number 7. The Schadenfreude Circuit. Alright, let's chat about something most act like they never do, even though they totally do. Laughing when others have little accidents. Nothing major, mind you, just small mishaps. Like your pal smacking face first into a clear door. Or spotting someone's umbrella suddenly turning itself inside out, like it gave up on life. Maybe seeing a person slide on ice, spin around midair, then crash down where pride used to be. Here's why it feels odd. Your mind likes surprises. If another person takes a small hit, your head goes, "Phew, not me," and that escape turns into laughter. Welcome to the Schadenfreude ride. Empathy meets humor, bouncing off each other like toddlers smashing tiny cars. Your brain does two things at the same time, copying how they feel, like flinching when someone stubs a toe, yet knowing deep down it's not your foot. This mix of feelings happens together, but people suck at handling split emotions, which flips discomfort into awkward laughs. Also, watching minor mishaps triggers the same surprise reaction as if it happened to you. One moment they're standing normal, next thing, flopping around like a broken puppet. Honestly, that shift is just absurd. There's no way your mind won't react, it's pure comedy. Here's the twist. Cracking up during tough times can glue people closer. A good chuckle about small blunders builds tighter groups. Those crews who laughed as one stuck around longer, like when Steve face-planted on a twig and everyone snickered anyway. Basically, Schadenfreude is your brain saying, "That looked painful, but thank God it wasn't me." Hilarious. Number 6. The adrenaline comedy burst. You ever slice your fingertip on some dumb thing? Say a crisp packet or a piece of paper acting like it's made of ninja metal, and then instantly snort laugh? Not cheerful stuff. More like a quick, shaky, no way this crap again noise. That little jolt? Blame the panic-fueled chuckle reflex. Pain kicks off a quick stress surge. Adrenaline rushes in, heartbeat jumps, sight gets clearer. Yet suddenly it's like facing a wild animal rather than fumbling with staplers. Since the danger's clearly silly, your mind abruptly shifts gears. The rush needs an outlet. Since there's no real threat nearby, just poor choices, it won't spark panic or speed. What happens then? That tension shifts into chuckles, acting like a vent for built-up steam. This weird cackle? It hits hard, like something unhinged. Not joy, more like a spill from inside. Stress juices blasting out your throat. That chuckle's really your mind yelling, "This mess is way too dumb." The cool thing? Adrenaline briefly dulls the hurt. It brings a shaky high, like you've lived through a wild event, when really you just ripped open a stubborn wrapper too hard. Your body's acting like it's the hero in a blockbuster. Meanwhile, life knows you tripped again. The laughs your mind trying, kind of failing, to balance both sides smooth like. Number 5. Humor as a painkiller. Laughing? It actually eases pain, no joke. Not symbolic. Not mystical. Straight up science. Your system reacts to jokes like they're homegrown meds, a zero-cost sample pack minus the billing trap, but hey, you might snort air. Laughing makes your brain let out helpful stuff like endorphins, dopamine, or natural opioids made right when needed. Think of it like having a tiny drugstore inside, run by someone silly. These substances help dull pain, slow down nerves that are worked up, also bring things back to balance. Life just feels lighter afterward. This is exactly why folks joke around in clinics. Because comics tell funny tales about their own struggles. Since your buddy bursts out laughing right after a shot. Chuckling works like a brain shortcut, an escape valve turning hurt into something bearable. Your brain craves shortcuts. When it tackles pain while lifting spirits, hitting 2 targets, it jumps on the chance. Sometimes laughter fires off before you even notice why, kind of like a discount popping up without you typing it in. Here's the kicker, your mind doesn't really tell apart real chuckles from nervous ones. Either one fires up the same chemistry lab inside you. That means even forced, shaky laughs can ease discomfort a bit. Your body won't check whether you're cracking up at a joke or just losing it because everything's falling apart. All it does is spot the laughter, then goes, "Neat, here comes some feel-good fixes. Just don't drop dead. Okay?" Funny moments? That's your mind fixing itself on the fly. Number 4. The "I can't believe I did that" response. You know that feeling when you do something so dumb it actually hurts, like smacking face first into a doorway? Not some new place, nah, your own house. A frame you've seen every single day for like a decade. And not even walking slow. More like full sprint mode inside your living room. That laugh, the startled, gasping kind, almost shaky, is your mind hitting disbelief. Total mental reset. Your brain's scrambling to make sense of 2 things that don't fit. 1. You're meant to be a capable person. 2. You messed up while doing a task that anyone capable should handle without issue. Your mind glitches out. Meanwhile, laughter takes over. The "I can't believe I actually did that" chuckle? That's just your mind giving up, waving a white flag. Not because it hurts, but because life somehow built this absurd chain of moments. One stumble leads to chaos. Then boom, you're laughing like nothing else matters. Laughter changes how you see slip-ups. Instead of thinking, "I messed up," you start saying, "Wow, what a move." That switch matters. Suddenly it's not tragic, just awkward. You don't feel crushed, you feel kind of silly. It swaps stress for something lighter. Like your brain hit fast forward on the cringe. Truth is, that's what makes it great. When you laugh, those awkward, messy, totally out of control seconds turn into tales you'll share later, without cringing yourself into oblivion. Pain stings. Yet when it comes from choices you made poorly, total laugh fest. Number 3. Emotional whiplash. It's a weird sort of hurt, one that makes you burst into wild laughter. The kind that sounds like everything's falling apart. Anyone nearby thinks you've totally snapped. You feel it before you see it coming. Not expected at all. Hits deep, out of nowhere, like a hit from behind when you're not looking. That chuckle? Right there, that sudden mood shift. Your feelings keep moving once they start. The mind prefers just going along without big changes. Relaxed, a bit busy, wondering what's for dinner, stuff like that. Yet when hurt comes out of nowhere, your mood jumps instantly, like life crashes into you from behind before you see it coming. The change hits fast, way too quick for your mind to keep up. That's why you end up laughing, not from joy, not because it's funny, yet this jagged, glitchy kind of chuckle. It bursts out like your feelings just lost traction on life's rough pavement. What's happening to you has a name: emotional clash. Your body hurts, but your mind expects calm, regular days. These two don't fit, so your brain grabs the nearest feeling available. Oddly enough, laughing pops up quicker than being scared, mad, or trying to stay composed. Laughing when something hurts actually helps you think straight again, because it keeps fear from spiraling out of control, yet stops your brain from imagining the worst, while calming your breath without trying. Your body's basically saying, yeah, that stung, but no big deal. Not dying here, so chuckle like a weirdo, then keep going. In short, emotional whiplash happens when your mind flips a mental wreck into dark humor. 'Cause falling apart on the sidewalk just isn't worth the awkward stares. Plus, nobody's really ready for that kind of scene. Number 2, the chaos bond. One odd second shows up whenever you mess up near others, especially pals. By odd, think messy, dumb, yet oddly sweet. You smash a toe, tumble from a seat, or twist a finger out of nowhere. Then everyone cracks up. Even you can't help it. Suddenly, the place feels like a goofy TV show. Here's the wild tie. Humans connect when emotions run high: fear, happiness, surprise, even discomfort. Something sudden hits you, and right away, people around react like one mind. At first there's worry. Did they get hurt? Yet as soon as danger passes, that tension flips into giggles. This happens since laughing together sticks people like glue. When folks chuckle at once, their breath matches up, minds hum in tune, which built tight groups back when survival mattered most. A crew that cracks up post-drama tends to lean on one another. Pain turns out to work real well as a trigger. Your pain turns into a moment everyone feels. Out of nowhere, how weird it is, plus how you respond, that sparks shared release. That release shows up as laughs. Those laughs link people together. Yet afterward, you just hope this connection didn't need your elbow taking the hit. Here's the catch. Laughing actually eases your pain. When others join in, your body releases more endorphins. You feel discomfort less when people laugh alongside you. Not mocking. Alongside. Sure, sometimes it might seem otherwise. Pain stirs up mess, but laughter sorts it out. Yet side by side, they turn friendship into something small, silly, yet somehow magic. Number 1. The brain's cosmic joke. Here's the big reveal. The mind trick hiding underneath it all. Your brain finds agony amusing. 'Cause when you look at how brains really work, you're actually the joke. This is exactly how it works. Your brain's set up to spot threats, handle feelings, keep things calm with others, avoid awkwardness. Guess what moves next? Lower tension, plus stay breathing non-stop. Yet mostly it crashes hard. Hurting shows how clunky your mind's code actually runs. When pain strikes, your mind freaks out. Emotional zones spark up. Stress chemicals flood in. Connections tied to people light on. Funny parts crash in without warning. Everything turns into a messy group chat. Total noise. Zero clue who started it or why. Laughing doesn't make sense sometimes. Instead, it's what's left behind scraps of feeling when your brain stumbles mid-sprint trying to stay safe. Pain catches you off guard? Smile instead. Pain makes you shy? Chuckle instead. Pain wearing you out? Try laughing instead. Pain messes with your mind? Just chuckle instead. Pain tells you everything's chaotic out there. And hey, you're just a small creature walking into tables now and then. Snicker. It's existential comedy. Your brain's just looking out for you, calming things down, sending social hints, balancing chemicals, or making emotions even. All this happens in a flash. What comes out? That mix of laughing, crying, and wincing. The weird, real reaction that pretty much sums up being human. We chuckle at hurt, Not since it's amusing, yet 'cause existence feels silly, while giggles help us handle being stuck in breakable flesh on a messed up rock spinning through space. Honestly though, maybe that's the best reaction we've got. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.